Understanding how to gather information in a paddock is essential to diagnosing problems, as Dr. Sarah Collins, Research Officer Nematologist with the Department of Agriculture and Food WA, explains.
Well, here we're looking at root lesion nematode, and it's really common in Western Australia. And they're in about 60% of paddocks in WA, and it is causing crop damage, yield losses in about 40% of paddocks in WA. So it's a really significant issue. Because nematodes are pests of the roots and they actually prune and eat the root system away, it means that the plant has much less root system to deal with any stresses. So it's less able to take up water and nutrients. And so that's why often nematode systems on top of the plant look a lot like they are nutrient deficiencies, because the plant isn't getting what it requires from the soil. Nematodes often look like, as this paddock does in a lot of places, a general patchiness. Nematode patches aren't very well defined. It can just look like a waviness in the crop, or when it's at a much higher level, it can look like a distinct area of bad growth, or patches like we have in this paddock. It's really not enough to walk through a paddock and just have a look around at what you can see. Because we're talking about a root disease issue, you really need to dig up the roots, have a look at some healthy roots, have a look at some bad root systems, and get an idea of what might be going on below the ground.
Dr. Collins says given the impact nematodes can have on a crop, identifying and managing this damaging root disease is important for growers to maximise yield potential.
Nematodes actually feed on the roots, and this particular nematode will actually either feed from the outside of the root, or they actually travel inside the root and eat on the inside of the root system. So what you often find is a lack of lateral roots, like this one here, and you'll find root pruning, which is that lack of lateral roots. Sometimes you'll get some regrowth, as we have here, where the conditions have gotten better and the plants try to grow away from the issue. Often Rhizoctonia and nematodes are found in the same areas, but their symptoms are quite similar. There are some differences. With Rhizoctonia, you'll often get spear tipping, which is browning and tipping of the ends of the roots, whereas nematodes, you get that general thickening and thinning of the roots and that lack of lateral roots, and really a complete lack of root system. Often farmers don't get a professional diagnosis done, and that means that they may decide that they have Rhizoctonia, or they may think they've got root lesion nematode, but they don't know specifically what they're dealing with. They need to know specifically what nematode they're dealing with if they have nematodes, and distinguish if they have to deal with Rhizoctonia and nematodes or just one or the other.